Why is it the gladiators and the champions in business, that 2%, that 1%, that are, you know what, I'm gonna get up. I know it's painful, I'm tired, I could go 5 more minutes, I could hit that snooze, but I'm just gonna do it. Each and every small move that you could make on a day-to-day basis to get yourself out of the comfort zone, just a little bit, believe it or not, actually builds up that muscle. Hey, so thank you for being here tonight. I got some heartwarming, motivational, inspirational. Is that what you're looking for?
Yep, absolutely.
So this talk today is going to be about resilience. And I know you said before about as far as, take a step back and kind of see where you're at, self-care, which is so important. But I want to give you the conditioning process of how to become more resilient. It actually starts right here. It's all scientifically proven. So let me just put this out there. What if you had a recipe, okay, that you could follow exactly in your life that's unique? It's just Martha's recipe. And it would teach Martha, all she has to do is follow the steps to be able to become more resilient in their business. Why is that important? Resilience. Do we have struggles in business? Do some of the most successful people in business today, they tell their stories about struggles all the time. How did they do that? Because the glory is on the other end of the big challenge. And so I know, anybody in that position, like everybody in the crowd today, they're at a place in their life where they're going to come up against struggles. Well, how do you, if you know the success formula in regards to getting to that other end, on the other side of that mountain, is a struggle, and how you could become resilient in that, would that be valuable to you? Would you guys like to learn that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what I'm going to do right now? Energy-wise, everybody stand up. Stand up. I want you to give me your strongest Arnold pose. Perfect. All right, sit back down. I'm going to read you something right here. And I got a gift for the person that can name this movie. It's one of my favorites. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit.
Dang it, Josh. I think it's Rocky.
You didn't even let him finish it.
No, that's Rocky 5.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. He's talking to his son. I love this quote. This is in my boxing gym. I see this every morning. I love it. Let me read this, but you got it. You have the gift that's coming to you. Big hug, It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can take and keep pushing forward. Because that's how winning's done. Guys, that's business right there. If business was easy, we'd all just, everybody would have their businesses and be great and it's all jolly, but it's not. The business owners that are successful out there, they learned the secret of how to push forward through the pain. And Rocky's been one of my, since I was, 10, 11 years old. Rocky he's still my number one fan. Love it. Because guess what? And, it was when he wrote that movie, that show, that script, it touched the hearts of America. Because the underdog, with all the challenges coming up against them, can fight through those, and they're gonna take the hits, but he gets back up and he still moves forward. Guys, that's what business owners are. You look at the biographies of all the successful people, they all have their story, and that's what makes them so special. Steve Jobs, and all that, starting in the garage and all that kind of stuff, they've all had their struggles. But the big difference between, the people that went the distance, right? They went the 12 rounds, and everybody else is resilience. They had what it took inside of them to be able to move forward and push forward and still keep the faith and still believe that something bigger is out there. They believe so much. Do you feel me? Seriously, it's inspirational. So I want to talk to us about a 4-step process that I developed on how to build resilience. So it's literally in your yeah, you'll take notes. So guys, this is all scientific. So there's different parts of the brain that are well suited for memory. There's different parts of the brain for logistics and all of this. But in the prefrontal cortex, we have a part of the brain that is actually, that we can develop, that can actually build resilience in us. So let me ask you a question. Who here goes to the gym? Tony. No, I'm just kidding. So who goes? You in the audience. Yep, over here. Yep. So you go to the gym. Matt, you go to the gym. Yes. Perfect, awesome. So if I wanted to specifically work on my bicep, what would I do?
Consistency.
Yeah, but what would I do? Would I focus on the muscle here?
Lots of curls.
Lots of curls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what else? I mean, if I knew this was the muscle that I wanted, not this one, because the gun shows that way. I'm just checking. If this was the specific muscle that I wanted to work, are there a set of exercises that I could focus on specifically for my right arm, my muscle? Are there?
Yes.
Yeah? Are there an array of exercises?
Yes.
Okay. Is there kind of a platform step up? You start here, you kind of build up here, you build up here, and then it's, doing it big time, right? Right.
Yep.
I don't do as good as you, but right. So you're telling me as a muscle here in our arm, there is a recipe, there's a plan. Talk to somebody, get guidance on how to specifically build this. You could probably build it 50 different ways. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what I want to get across is there's actually a part of our brain that we can do the same thing. And like I started with regards to, that resilience, it's that internal strength that we all want, we gravitate to. But at the end of the day, when things get tough, it's the strength to push us forward, just like, the champions and the gladiators in business ahead of us. Would you agree? Would you guys like to know what that is?
Yes.
Pretty cool. So I've kind of set this up, right? It's pretty cool. Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right? I have your attention. Awesome. All right. So I break this up into 4 parts. Okay. We're going to start with the bicep. I'll use that as a metaphor. So the first thing is small moves, I call it. Small moves or conditioning. We want to put ourselves in a situation where we're uncomfortable. Just like conditioning in the gym. We're working out the muscle, we're working out the bicep. We got to start small. We got to add some resistance. So I call this small moves, conditioning. So what can we do? Small moves. I'll give you a couple ideas and I'd love to hear from the crowd. So number 1, who taking the shower in the morning, waking up, put that sucker on cold for 30 seconds. Who does that?
I did.
Nice, Matt. I love it. Is it a little painful?
At first, yeah.
It is. But is it a small move that builds a bit of resistance? And in your mind right now, in your prefrontal cortex, every time you do that, if you do it every day, that's awesome. But the more you do that, you put your mind and your body into a position where it's enduring stress. Small stress, right? You're not going to die. That's it. Give me another idea for small moves that we can do to put ourselves outside of our comfort zone. I have some ideas right here, but I want to hear from you guys. What are little small things we could do every day? It could be easy as
You can go to the gym.
you can go to the gym every day. Yep. We could actually, is it a little bit painful to set our alarm clock and wake up exactly on that time frame?
Oh my God.
Is it? It really is. It's funny. I mean, but seriously, think of it from a business standpoint. How many business owners are out there? What's the population out there that hit the snooze button? 98%? Why is it the gladiators and the champions in business? That 2%, that 1% that are, you know what? I'm going to get up. I know it's painful. I'm tired. I can go 5 more minutes. I could hit that snooze, but I'm just gonna do it. Each and every small move that you could make on a day-to-day basis to get yourself out of the comfort zone, just a little bit, believe it or not, actually builds up that muscle. Is that pretty cool? Does that sound easy? So here's what I want you to do. Make a list. First section, number 1, small moves / conditioning. Cold shower. Little things, waking up, like little teeny things that you could do 5, 10, 15 times a day. I want you to I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds to brainstorm and give me a list of 3 to 5 things. We got about 5 more seconds. Stay on time. Can I hear from a couple of people?
Walk the dog.
Is that uncomfortable for you?
It is that time of the day.
Is it? Okay. Hey, all I care about is, are you putting your mind and body in a situation that's a little bit uncomfortable?
Well, it gets very comfortable after a bit.
I know. Awesome. Who else?
Wake up with time to like have time to meditate, to be quiet.
Yeah. So what does that require? What's
Getting up early.
Getting up early.
Earlier than you need to get up. Yeah.
And so you're going to be tired. That's what you're sacrificing, right?
Yeah.
So guys, I want you to seriously, this is the first step. Step number 1 are small moves. This is something that's not going to kill us. We can do these things. And believe it or not, you become conditioned. That's why I said this is the conditioning that, Matt, you do the cold showers in the morning. Does it get easier? It does.
Every morning.
It does. I started doing, downtown, I started doing those ice baths, like 47 degrees. The first time I was in there, 10 seconds maybe, I felt there was needles. I could only get in like this far. Now I'm up to like 3.5 minutes, which is good. The people ahead of me are at 6 minutes, is crazy, But I can tell you through conditioning and strength training, because resilience is strength training, in a whole new form, it gets easier. So that's what we want to do, is start building on the small. You guys ready for step 2? I call step 2 soft moves. Soft moves. So step 2 are actions that we can take, and this is action. This is the part where it's action, is small things we can take to farther the pain. So let me give you so the habits that we develop every day. They're hard, right? If habits were easy and, hard things, working out every single day, that'd be tough, right? But these are the things that we're disciplining ourselves, and that's building that resilience right up here. I got one for you. And this one, hard conversations. Ooh, you just looked at me funny. Are there people in your world that you should have some hard conversations, but you avoid it because it's less painful? Just is. Family, friends, business people, clients, it just has it, right? What if you took that farther step, and that's why I call this the action step, to be able to have those hard conversations. Every time you step up and have a difficult conversation, that next one's gonna be easier and easier.
Yeah, I've been needing to tell you.
Seriously, Matt, we already talked about Kyle over here. I mean, come on, I'm just joking. But no, I'm serious, does that make sense? Like from a communication standpoint, from a mindset standpoint, having just upfront and being frank with people, sometimes it's uncomfortable, but the more we do it, the easier it becomes. It is.
It is. That is so true.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we try an exercise of walking down the street and looking every stranger in the eye.
Yeah.
It'll be the same.
Right.
Same scenario.
So I'm building us up here, right? So we start with small steps, things we can do on our own. Step number 2, things that are going to involve other people, right? We're getting out of our comfort zone. We're building this. What's so cool is every time you do this, you're becoming stronger and stronger in here. That's the bicep. It's a bicep. All right, you ready for step 3? I call step 3 big moves. And this one is going to be all about you. It's not going to be about other people. It's not about small steps in the shower. This is about you. So what I mean by this, when it becomes resilient and getting out of our comfort zone, this is where we start setting boundaries. Who loves boundaries? Some people. But truth is when you start setting boundaries, for example, Matt, it's a standard for yourself. You know what? I'm making a personal decision from a service and a sales standpoint that I'm going to be at this high standard. And I'm just not going to show up anything less than that. This is when you become more knowledgeable and you start making those choices where like, man, you know what? This is the boundaries I'm setting. I have calls to return. I have business sales calls to return. I'm making it a point that I'm going to follow up with every single person before that end of the day. I don't care if it's 8 o'clock, I'm going to send them a text. They're going to be followed up with. I'm making a purposeful decision that before I go to bed every night, I know I've followed up with all the people that I wanted to, that I've finished every little task. Is it going to be painful?
Yeah.
Yes, it will. But I'm telling you, you start setting the standard at step 3. This is all about you. This is where, you know what? I make a decision to show up here, and frankly, I'm just not going to settle for anything less. Period. And this is who I am. Do you see how this process of building this muscle, that muscle right there, do you see how this process right here, it's a step-up approach, just like business, just like FC, how we help business owners from that idea, that conception, through the steps. Same thing with resilience. We're doing this all the time, right? We're starting small, doing little small things we can do every day. Step 2, we're making it a little bit more painful. We're getting people involved. We're having conversations. We're stepping outside of our comfort zone. Step number 3, we're making some big moves. We're making some decisions. We're setting some standards for ourselves. Hey, I'm not gonna do any less than that. And now we're starting to transform. We're setting boundaries. All right, you guys ready for step 4? So steps 1, 2, and 3 have completely conditioned you and set you up for step 4. I'll tell you what step 4 is. Step 4 is transformation. This is where we take the leap. This is where we've built up enough resilience, strength, and courage to make that business idea reality. To pick up the phone and call the coach, to go ahead and sign up on FC. This is where we've made the decision that we've built steps 1, 2, and 3. Hey, this is the business opportunity that you've wanted your entire life, that you've always dreamed of, but you've been too afraid to act on it. That's step 4. But you see, you can't have step 4. Well, you can. A lot of people try it, and maybe that's why a lot of business owners fail and all the stats and everything like that. But if you start small and work up, you've built that mental conditioning. Does that make sense? So guys, step 4 is the big step. It takes everything to get there. But could you imagine, are you the same person at step 4 than you were at step 1? No way. You're different because guess what? You've been working out. You've been in the gym. You've been conditioning. And guess what? We don't need a gym. We don't need anything else. We just need to be aware because awareness is the first step to change. And clarity is power. So if we're aware of the small things we can do every day, just to get a little bit outside our comfort zone, just to start building that muscle, like it's a true muscle. And then we start showing up differently. I guarantee it, mark my words, people are gonna look at you differently. They're gonna totally look at you differently because you're showing up differently. It's like, wow, they're gonna be impressed. You're more direct. You can still be your friendly self, however you do, but you're just showing up differently. Then in step 3, we're starting to make some big moves. Hey, you know what? I've set a new standard for myself. This is how I'm gonna show up. I just, before I go to bed, I'm making sure all of this is done. Guess what? You're gonna sleep a lot better, by the way. But you start setting the boundaries, you start setting the standards. That's when it's all about you. And that right there tees you up for step 4, which is all about the transformation. I call step 4 the big idea. That big idea that your heart is yearning for. And now you actually have the strength to act. But here is the clinchpin on this entire discussion right here. What separates the gladiators and the champions in business from everyone else is resilience. It's the people that have started small with the small moves and then worked up with the soft moves and have started doing those big moves that have the stamina, the strength, and the courage. When it comes to that big idea, guess who's standing last? It's like Rocky said, it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. And that's my big idea tonight.
Love it.
Awesome. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir.